Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. We've taken a look at Tobey Maguire. We've taken a look at Andrew Garfield. We took a look at No Way Home when it first came out. Now it is time to take a little bit of a trip down memory lane, a little bit of a stroll down memory lane, and take a look at the first ever Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, because for whatever reason I did not review this one on the channel. The only Spider-Man movie that I reviewed from the Tom Holland franchise was Far From Home. I don't know why. I did Far From Home and not Far From Home, No Way Home, and only No Way Home, but I did. But don't worry, I'm back and I'm ready. I'm ready to sling webs, throw names, and kick ass, because this is Spider-Man, one of my personal favorite superheroes, and I'm gonna be honest, that clouded my judgment, and I'm gonna try and uncloud my judgment because of how much I like Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man Homecoming came out in 2017. It is an action sci-fi which is 2 hours and 13 minutes. Has a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb, a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon. You can watch it on Netflix, YouTube, Google Play, and Amazon Prime. Peter Parker tries to stop Adrian the Vulture Toombs from selling weapons made with an advanced Chitauri technology while trying to balance his life as an ordinary high school student. So how this movie actually starts is with some MCU timeline breaking. I'm not too knowledgeable on the MCU timeline breaking here. Again, I'm not like die-hard into the sort of ins and outs in every single movie. I watch the movie, I enjoy it, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm ready for the next one. That is all my knowledge goes to for the MCU. It's not like, oh, this is an Easter egg to this comic, this is an Easter egg to that character, oh, this leads into that. No, I watch it, I enjoy it, I move on. So, how the story actually goes is with Vulture. Vulture's whole team is like being fired from cleaning up the Chitauri thing, and S.H.I.E.L.D. is taking over, and he's upset by that and steals a load of Chitauri stuff, and then is heisting a load of S.H.I.E.L.D's shipments and Tony Stark's shipments to get new stuff to build better weapons. And again, he's a man in a fucking suit. I think that's a load of bollocks. I hate that. I fucking hate that, but we'll get into it later. We then move over to Peter Parker, who's living life as a normal high school student whilst trying to balance Spider-Man. His grades are slipping, he keeps cutting classes, he's going around as Spider-Man, texting Iron Man a lot because, you know what, nothing's happening, nothing's showing up. Like, he's looking for stuff to do, he's helping old ladies, he's being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but he doesn't like that, that's boring. He wants more, he wants to do more, he wants to fight bigger and better bad guys. So, he goes and tries to fight the Vulture. Obviously, he ain't good enough, he ain't skilled enough, because all he's ever done is actually fight Captain America, and lost. So, he loses to the Vulture. Iron Man actually shows up, gets pissed at him, and takes away his suit. So, Peter is like, you know what, fuck you, Iron Man, I have my old suit. So he puts on his old suit, and he goes again to try and fight, who is it? He goes to try and fight Vulture. And he succeeds, but with great power comes great responsibility. And he saves the Vulture from killing himself, and he also saves Iron Man's shit. He saves Iron Man's stuff, which is cool. And no one thanks him, but he goes about living his life, and that's pretty much where the movie ends. Gonna be honest, like I said earlier, I don't like how they've techified Spider-Man. I don't like how they've obviously turned him techie and given him sort of crappy web shooters that run out of web fluid all the time. It's not unbelievable that he can stick to walls and has super strength, so why is it unbelievable that he can shoot webs out of his wrists? Obviously, it's to give him some kind of disadvantage because they feel like he's too strong. Like, him running out of web thing is a plot point that they need to have to write better and more interesting stories and to build the tension. So, I understand it from a story narrative, I just think it's shit. I also don't like how there's a lady in his suit and that he's filled with gadgets now. Again, he feels like Batman. He has a random little spider in his chest. Where the fuck did that come from? That's a drone. Fair enough, it helps him. And he has X-ray vision as well. He has a load of different advanced modes in his suit, so he can't even fight on his own. His suit sort of fights for him. And I feel like that takes away from Spider-Man, because Spider-Man in the comics is relatable. He's poor, he's a high school student that gets bullied on a daily basis, and he isn't, like, obviously super rich, so he can't afford all these cool gadgets, and he makes all this stuff from his house. He sort of uses his own stuff. He sort of sews his own suits, and sort of goes out and does the stuff to give back to the neighborhood. He's doing it because he wants to. And I feel like this version of Spider-Man is in it just for the thrill of it, because he wants to do the bigger Avenger missions. He wants to be a big sort of member of the Avengers. He wants, like, a big chunk of it. So I feel like he's very selfish, very self-centered in this one, and again, he's just very, very Batmanified, very Iron Manified. Everyone call him Iron Man Jr. That's fair. He's still his own character, but his villains aren't his. They're Iron Man's, and Iron Man makes them. The only reason that fucking Vulture exists is because of Iron Man, and how Iron Man fucked him over and took away his job, and I don't like that. I don't like how the Vulture is, again, just a guy in a suit. That's all these characters are. They're just guys in suits. Like, the Vulture in the comics and in the TV shows and in the animated series is a guy with wings. Fair enough, in the newer animated ones, they have turned him into a mechified character. Like in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, they made him like a Da Vinci sort of plane thing, like the first ever plane. But they still were, I don't know, I didn't really like that either. I prefer it when they're like actual Bird-esque characters. Like, that's what he is. He's a guy who obviously got mutated into a Vulture character. I liked that storyline, and I'm upset that they've turned him into a guy in a suit. I feel like that's cheap. Again, I feel like that's cheap. And he's very similar to the Falcon as well. Fair enough, being a street-level petty thief, that's fine. That I'm not upset with. I'm upset with his suit. That's what I don't like. I'm not bothered that he's running a criminal organization. I thought that was cool. I thought having the Shocker there was cool, right? I thought that was really good. Thought that was really interesting. They added a couple of villains in here for him to fight, and they made it interesting with him going to steal stuff, and he actually saved it. You know what? He was a hero. He saved it. And it fit in with his school trip as well. And I liked that. I thought that was cool, but I just don't like how they're all sort of futuristic and techie. Why can't we just have, like, I don't know, actual superpowers? Why do we always have to have fucking metal? It just doesn't sit right with me. Tom Holland is a better Spider-Man than he is a Peter Parker. I'm not a huge fan of his Peter Parker. I feel like his problems as Peter Parker aren't that relatable. Flash isn't really the bully. He's just kind of annoying, and he's just kind of there, like, half the time. He's just a dick. Like, it's not really bullying to, like, the bullying degree that, like, Flash normally is. He's just kind of there to, like, be a hindrance and an annoyance. He doesn't really do much, and, you know, Peter gets his own back anyway as Spider-Man by robbing his car. But, I don't know, man. I feel like there's better versions of Spider-Man, and that is Andrew Garfield. This is still a really good movie, and I can watch it over and over and over again. Again, that's my Spider-Man blindness, so I'm going to give it a 7.